In this tutorial I will show you the whole process how to create the track and signature style of Anyma from start to finish, starting from building drums and bass, and also full arrangement breakdown, and of course building the signature Anyma lead. What's going on, everybody? This is Múrten, and today we will create a full track from start to finish in signature style of Anyma, inspired by his latest track, Pictures of You Without Me. And just a quick reminder, you can download the template that I've created in this tutorial on my Patreon page. And also, be sure to check my other templates there and other content. And now, no more words needed, let's go! Okay guys, we will start producing our track from the breakdown, and we will start from the bass. And I will use one of my presets from my samples and presets pack called Spectrum. And for the breakdown bass, I want to use the classic Reese bass. And right now I will create the empty MIDI clip in the middle of the breakdown, and I will play with the notes. We will produce our track in E minor key. We will use the original notes from Pictures of You Without Me by Anyma. And now let's listen all the notes together. And as you may see guys, I placed the two markers, the first one when the breakdown begins and the second one when the drop begins. We can divide our breakdown into the three parts. In the first part we will play the breakdown without the bass, in the second part we will open up the bass notes, and in the third part we will play the bass on the one note to prepare it to go to the drop. Okay, and now we need to add an EQ to process this bass. And first of all, we will clean up the lower frequencies. Now we will clean the mid frequencies. And the last step, we will cut off the higher frequencies from our bass. Okay, we're done with the EQ, and now I will add the after filter, and I will automate the cutting the lower frequencies to make an interesting drop entrance. I wanted to automate low frequency cut around 250. Okay guys, we've done all the work with the breakdown bass, and now we can move to the breakdown chords. For the chord sound, I will use the stock Ableton wavetable. Now I will create the empty MIDI clip, and we will play with the notes. And our main goal right now is to recreate the notes from the original track by Anyma. Now I will keep silence while making these chords. Okay, now we can move to the second note. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we're almost done with the chords, and now we can copy and paste this same note into the end of the chords. And now let's listen our chords and bass together. And now, according to the original track, we can extend our chords into the beginning of the breakdown. And now, according to the bass notes, in the end of the breakdown, we need to leave only one first note of the chords. Now we can add an EQ to process these chords. First of all, we'll clean up the lower frequencies. Now I will clean up the mid frequencies around 1000 Hz. Now I will use the shell filter to boost high frequencies. And the final step, I will make the high-end cut. Okay, now let's listen all together. Okay guys, we've done with the chord notes, and now we can create the second additional layer to the main chords. I will use the stock Ableton wavetable as well, and we will copy and paste the same notes from the main chords. Now I will go back to the main chords, I will copy the EQ and I will paste it on the second additional layer. Sounds much better now, and now let's listen all together. Okay, and now I will add the third layer with the simple pad. Let's create an empty MIDI clip. Here I will use the Serum VST with the mysterious sounding pad. I will use the same notes like on the bass. But in the end I will add the one more note. Okay, now let's listen all together. And in the end of the breakdown I will use the pad same like a chords on the one note. And now we need to process this pad. First of all, we will cut off the lower frequencies. And I will use the shell filter to reduce a few dB on the higher frequencies. And now let's listen all elements in the breakdown together. Okay guys, we created an amazing bass and chords in the breakdown, and now let's move to the drop. And before we'll start producing our drop, I have prepared a separate channel with the sidechain trigger and the sidechain compressor on it that we will copy and paste on some elements in the track. And also freeze and return channels, the first one with the small verb, the second one with the long verb, and the third one with the delay. Now we can move to the drop, and we will start from the kick selection. I will use the kick from my samples and presets pack called Spectrum. Here we need a fat and punchy kick. Now I can extend this kick for the whole drop. But I think we need to make this kick a little bit shorter. I will go to the one-shot mode, I will make this kick shorter, and I will play with the fade out now. Okay, and now we need to process this kick. And first of all, we will use the shell filter to reduce a few dB on the sub-frequencies on the kick. And now we need to find the main kick frequency to boost it on a few dB to help the kick go through the bass. And now we will add an EQ with the 90 Hz frequency automation cut. We will use this automation on the kick when we will go from the one section to another. Okay, and now we will simply duplicate this MIDI clip with the automation on the whole drop. Okay guys, we've done all the work with the kick, and now let's move to the bass. In this track we will use only one layer of the bass. Here is the serum preset that I will use. Now let's create an empty MIDI clip. And for now I will use the short notes just to recreate the bass pattern. Now we need to make these notes a little bit longer. We will leave the small spaces between the notes. And now we can duplicate these notes. Now we can extend this MIDI clip for the whole drop. Now I will duplicate this MIDI clip, I will consolidate it, and I will repeat the same bass notes like in the breakdown. Now we will set up the loop in the MIDI clip, and we will extend this MIDI clip for the rest of the drop. Okay, and now we need to process this bass, and we will start with the EQ. And of course we need to clean up the lower frequencies. I think I will cut off the lower frequencies around 35 Hz. I hope you remember guys that we're boosted the main kick frequency. Now on the bass we need to reduce a few dB on this kick frequency. As I said before, it will help the kick go through the bass. And now we will give the body to the bass, and we will boost the frequency around 100 Hz. And the final step is to cut the higher frequency from the bass. Yep, we've done all the work with the EQ here. And now we will copy and paste sidechain compressor that I left on the sidechain trigger channel. Now we will play with the ratio. And now we've done all the work with the bass. Alright, and now we can slowly move to the drums. And I have prepared all the drum samples guys, and we'll start with the clap. This one sounds cool, and now we can create an empty MIDI clip and we can place our clap. Now we can extend this MIDI clip for the whole drop. Now I wanted to play with the fade out knob on the clap. And the last step is to add an EQ. We will clean the lower frequencies. And now we will mix the short verb from the send return channel. Okay, and now we can move to the closed hi-hats. We will lay a really huge amount of the closed hi-hats, and from the first layer I wanted to hear this noisy sound. Now let's create an empty MIDI clip and let's play with the velocity. This one is my favorite pattern on the closed hi-hats. Now I can duplicate these notes. Now I want to make these closed hi-hats a little bit shorter. Okay, let's listen all elements together. Now let's process these closed hi-hats with the EQ. We will clean up the lower frequencies. And I will reduce a few dB on the higher frequencies with the shell filter. Now I wanted to add an afterpan to create this stereo sound. We will play with the two knobs, amount and the rate. And now let's mix some short verb. And the last step on the first layer of the closed hi-hats is to add the sidechain. I think we will use the small amount of the ratio. We've done with the first layer of the closed hi-hats, and now let's move to the open hi-hat. Now let's create an empty MIDI clip and let's place our open hi-hat. Now we can extend this MIDI clip. Now I wanted to make this open hi-hat a little bit shorter. Now let's mix some short reverb. And let's send the signal to the right. Now let's create the second layer of the closed hi-hats. From the second layer of the closed hi-hats, I wanted to hear this short click sound. Now let's add some small reverb. And as I said before, guys, we will layer the huge amount of the closed hi-hats, and now let's move to the third layer. Here we will use the loop with the closed hi-hats. And now we will warp it. We need to go straight into the sample, choose beats, transients, forward, and play with the amount of the transients. Now I will adjust the volume and will extend this loop for the whole drop. Now we need to mix some short reverb. Okay guys, we've done with the closed hi-hats layering, and now we will add the last part in our drum section, is the final top loop. Now let's drag this loop into the project and let's warp it. We will use the same trick with the transients. Now we need to adjust the volume and add some short reverb. And now let's listen all elements together. Okay guys, we're done with the drums and now let's finally move to the signature Anyma synths. For the first layer of the lead I will use the serum with this preset. And now it's not gonna be easy, but I will try my best to recreate the lead from Pictures of You Without Me. And first of all, let's draw the bottom notes of the lead. And we will start with the short notes just to recreate the rhythm of the lead. Okay guys, we've done with the bottom notes and now let's adjust the volume. And now I will make every note just a bit longer. But anyway, I will leave the small spaces between the notes. And now we will duplicate all the notes that were created and we will put these duplicated notes one octave higher. Let's listen all the notes together. Perfect, and now let's listen upper notes in solo and after that all together. And now the lead really sounding wider, and now we need to fill these spaces that were left on the bottom notes. And I want to remind you guys that we're hearing this gated effect just because of the preset in the serum. But spoiler, on the second layer of the lead we will create this gated effect by ourselves. Now I will duplicate these notes 4 times. Let's listen this lead in the mix. Yeah, sounds cool, but now, according to the original notes, I need to change the third part of this MIDI clip. We need to put this third part of the melody just a few notes higher. Now I will duplicate these notes and put them one octave lower. And here I will fill the spaces between the bottom notes. Okay, and now according to the original notes from Pictures of You Without Me, we need to change the 4 part of this lead. Okay, and now let's listen the full lead. Perfect, we're almost done, and now we will duplicate these notes, we'll put them one octave lower and fill the spaces between the lower notes. Okay guys, cool, we've finally done the work with the notes of this lead, and now let's listen to this lead in the whole mix. Now I can extend this lead for the whole drop. Okay guys, and now we need to process this lead. I will add the stock Ableton audio rack just to show you before and after. We will start our processing from OTT. We boosted the higher frequency and reduced a few dB on the mid frequencies. Now I will add the saturation. I will choose the soft sign. Now we need to add an EQ. And first of all, we will clean the lower frequencies. Now we need to clean the mid frequencies. Now I want to reduce a few dB on the 1000 Hz. Okay, cool, and now we need to boost the high frequencies a bit. And the final step, we need to cut off these click frequencies in the high end. And now let's listen before and after the processing. Now we need to sidechain our lead. We will copy and paste sidechain compressor. I will use the ratio about 1.4. And the final step, to add the long verb and the delay through the send return channels. Perfect guys, we created an amazing main layer of the lead, and now let's create the support layer. For the support layer I will use the serum also, and I will copy and paste the same notes. Here is the serum preset settings. But I think we need to put all the notes from the support layer 1 octave lower. Yeah, now sounds good. Now we need to process this layer, and I will start with the audio rack. And here I will also add the stock Ableton OTT. We will boost the higher frequencies and reduce a few dB on the mid frequencies. I think I want to distort the signal a bit, and I will use the stock Ableton erosion. I will use the noise button. Okay, now we need to add an EQ to clean this sound. First of all, we will clean the lower frequencies. Also, we need to clean the mid frequencies. And now we need to use the shell filter and boost the higher frequencies. Yes, we're almost done. Okay, now we need to sidechain this support layer, and I will copy and paste sidechain compressor. Okay, and now let's listen the full group of the lead. And I hope you remember, guys, when we created the first main layer of the lead, I said that we will create this gated effect on the support layer. We will achieve this effect with the shaper box. And first of all, we need to choose the filter. Then we need to choose 1/16. Then we need to choose the form of the wave. Now let's play with the dry wet knob. And now let's adjust the waveform a bit. And the last step, I wanted to add the reverb, but not the long verb, I wanted to add the short verb. We've done all the work with the processing, and now let's turn on the sidechain compressor. Perfect, guys, we've done all the work with the main lead, and now let's listen to the full group of the lead and the mix. Okay guys, and now let's create the signature Anyma step. I will use the serum as well with this kind of the preset. Now let's create an empty MIDI clip and let's play with the notes. For this step we will use the same notes but on 2 different octaves. Now we need to create the same note but 1 octave lower. Now let's duplicate these notes for the whole MIDI clip. And now we will change these step notes according to the bass notes. Now let's listen to this step in the whole mix. Let's process this step and we will start with the EQ. And also I will add an echo. Let's start processing the step with the cleaning of the lower frequencies. I think we will cut off the lower frequencies around 150 or 60. Now I wanted to use the shelf filter and reduce a few dB on the higher frequencies. And the last step I will cut off the high end. Now let's turn on the echo and I will use the amount around 1 to 32. Now we need to sidechain this step and I will copy and paste sidechain compressor. And I think we will use the ratio about 1.85. Now let's add some long verb. Now let's extend this MIDI clip for the whole drop. But in the first part of the drop we will use the step only on the first note. Just because we're building the step according to the bass notes. Okay guys, we're almost done with the synth section and now let's add an additional layer with the plug sound. I will use the serum with this preset. Now let's create an empty MIDI clip and play with the notes. I will use the plug only on the one note. Now we need to create a rhythm. Now we can duplicate these notes for the whole MIDI clip. Now let's extend this MIDI clip for the whole drop and let's listen all together. Now let's process this plug sound, and I will start with the EQ. Let's clean the lower frequencies. After that I will boost the higher frequencies a bit with the shell filter. And here I will also cut off the high end with the harsh frequencies. Here's the before and after. Now let's add some long reverb. And of course we need to use the sidechain compressor. We will use the ratio around 1.20. Okay guys, cool, we're almost done with the synth section, and the last step, I will extend this pad sound that were created in the breakdown for the whole drop. Okay guys, we created the whole synth section, and now let's move to the fixes and noises. We will start building our noise group with the simple up filter. I will move this up filter to the left a bit just to highlight the space without the kick and drop. Now we can duplicate this simple up filter to highlight the transitions from one section to another. And the final step, let's mix some short reverb. Okay guys, we've done with the up filter, and now let's add some down filter. We will place this down filter sample right after the up filter. Now let's create the fade on this sample. Now let's duplicate this down filter. Now we need to place this down filter in the breakdown. Now let's add some short reverb. And the last step, I want to process this down filter with the EQ. Now we've done with the down filter, and now let's add some tonal riser. This sample sounds amazing. And of course we need to warp this sample and put the sample up on 4 semitones, because the original key of this sample is C minor. In the warping mode we need to choose complex and point the original BPM of the sample. We're almost done with the sample, now we need to trim it and create some fades. And let's add some reverb. Now let's process the sample with the EQ. We need to clean the lower frequencies. And I will boost a few dB on the higher frequencies using the shell filter. Okay guys, and now let's add some noise riser. We will use the simple white noise. Now we need to adjust the volume. Now we need to warp the sample, choosing the complex warping mode. Now we need to trim this sample and create some fades. Okay, and now let's process this sample. Here I wanted to cut off the lower frequencies. Okay guys, and now we need to add an impact to highlight the drop. Now let's drag the sample into the project. Okay, and now let's add some short reverb. Okay guys, we've done with the noises, and now I wanted to add the last part in our FX section. Here I wanted to use the Vox loop. Now we need to go straight into the sample, choose Complex Pro Warping mode and reduce the envelopes. Now let's extend this loop for the whole drop. Also, let's duplicate this loop into the breakdown. Also, we will create some small fades. Now let's add some long verb. We will process the sample with the EQ. We will cut all the lower frequencies and a bit of the mid. Now I want to reduce a few dB on the higher frequencies using the shell filter. Last thing, I want to use the sidechain compressor here. Okay guys, we've done all the work with the track. We created drums, bass, synths and noises, and now let's move to the full arrangement breakdown. And of course we will start from creating the intro. Our intro will be the 45 seconds, and I will place two markers, the first one with the intro and the second one with the breakdown. Now we need to fill our intro with some elements. I will copy and paste the bass from the drop here, and I think in the intro we will use the bass only on the one note. Next, I want to copy and paste the drums from the drop to the intro. And in the intro, our main goal is to slowly introduce all the elements that we have to the listener. According to the original track Pictures of You Without Me, we will open up the drums from open hi-hat. Okay, we're done with the drums, and now I want to copy and paste the step from the drop to the intro. And according to the bass notes, we need to use the step on the same note as the bass. So here I will trim the step MIDI clip, will loop it and extend it for the whole intro. Okay, and now I want to copy and paste the pad from the drop to the intro. Okay, we've done our intro with the drums, bass and synths, and now we need to fill our intro with the FXs. Now we will copy and paste this vox loop. Now let's add some effects in the beginning of the breakdown. Okay guys, we filled our intro with all elements and now we need to automate all the stuff that we have here to slowly introduce them to the listener. And first of all, I want to automate the cutoff knob on the bass. Also, we will use the after filter on the step to slowly open up this element. I think we will start opening this element from 1200 Hz. Now I wanted to use the same after filter automation on the pad. Okay guys, we've done with the intro and now let's slowly move to the first breakdown. We will start building our first breakdown from the breakdown bass. Now let's add some chords. We will open up the chords right at the beginning of the breakdown. Here I will set up the marker when the first drop begins. And now let's fill the first breakdown with the effects and noises. Now we need to copy and paste tonal riser and noise riser right before the first drop. So I hope you remember guys that we created the lower frequency automation cut on the breakdown bass at the beginning of the tutorial, so we will copy and paste this automation right in the first breakdown. Okay, and now I wanted to use the after filter on the whole chords group and I will create the same lower frequency cut automation. Our main goal is to create the cool entrance to the first drop with these automations. I think we will cut the lower frequencies before 800 Hz. And now let's listen these automations together. Okay, we've done with the first breakdown and now let's move to the first drop. This is simple, we will just copy and paste the elements that we have in the second drop to the first drop. But here's the main difference between the second drop and the first drop. In the second drop we will open up all elements pretty fast, but in the first drop we will slowly open up all elements like drums, synths and all other stuff. Now let's copy and paste the synths. Now let's delete the step from the beginning of the first drop. Now we need to fill the drop with the plug sound. Okay, and now let's copy and paste the drums from the second drop to the first one. In the beginning of the first drop we will use only the kick. Now let's fill the drop with the pad. And the final step, we need to fill our first drop with the noises and effects. Here we need to add a vox loop. And now let's listen the entrance from the breakdown to the drop. Here I wanted to rename the markers on the breakdown number 2 and drop number 2. Okay, we've done with the first drop and now let's move to the second breakdown. Most of the elements we created before, here I want to adjust a few things. The first thing, I want to extend the lead from the second drop to the breakdown. And here I wanted to add an after filter to the lead to slowly open up the lead to the second drop. I think we'll start slowly opening up the lead to the second drop from 1200 Hz. Okay, and the last step is to copy and paste the automation that we created on the chords in the first breakdown to the second breakdown. And now let's listen the automation of the bass, lead and chords together. Okay guys, we're done with the second breakdown. We created the second drop before and now let's create an outro. Most of the time the outro of the track is the reversed intro of the track. So here the outro would be the same 45 seconds as the intro. Now let's copy and paste the bass from the drop to the outro. We will use the bass on the one note the same as in the intro. And also let's create the same automation on the bass on the outro like in the intro. In the intro, with this cutoff knob automation, we're slowly open up the bass. Here we want to slowly close this bass. Now, same as in the intro, we will use only the few elements from the drum section in the outro. I think in the end of the outro we'll use only the top loop. Also, we need to slowly close up all other elements that we have, the synths, so we will extend the lead. And here we will create the automation of closing the lead. Now let's extend the pad. Let's create the same closing automation on the pad. And the last step is to fill our outro with the noises and effects. That we have. I think we need to remove these two automations on the EQ and the kick. Okay guys, we've done all the work with the track. We created the drums, bass, synths, noises and effects, and finished all the work with the arrangement. And now let's just have a listen to the final result. that's how we produced melodic techno track in signature style of Anyma. Yep, that's it guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial, I hope it was useful, and the best way to say thank you is to subscribe on my Patreon page, and also leave your comment, like and subscribe. See you in the next videos.